Okay, I gotta do a new intro.
Welcome
Because
back,
I do
everyone.
like that one, but welcome,
I was
everybody.
grooving to that joint.
Everybody, come down to the front. Come down to the front. It is Thursday Night Live, and we've already been kicking in the background about random things or whatever, and so it was time to go live. So, what's going on, sis? It's so funny
Oh my goodness.
when I look at that intro and look at how short I had cut my hair for this time, and I was like, I needed to grow now. So,
So here it is. No, I love it. You look great though. I'm serious.
you look great as well. Curls popping.
I meant to say that thing. Yeah, how's it going? So for me, it's going. Like this week was one of those weeks that you're kind of like, I'm not saying it's happening to me, but it's like you kind of looking at yourself because everything's going so fast and there's so many, things to do. So and the time is just passing. I can't even believe, I mean, I'm kind of grateful, but I can't even believe it's Thursday already. Like this week passed by crazy fast. But
I'm grateful it's Thursday, and yeah, it is. It is. I don't know. I'll get into that when I get into my week.
But yeah, my week was good. I pushed through this week. Like I pushed through berries this week. It's a lot of stuff that I'm like working on, like for content wise, that still hasn't made it to the screen, and I'm like pushing through that. So that's fun and informative for me. But yeah, I did okay this week. How about you? How's your week?
Well, like this month, for some reason, it's just extra busy with like just shit happening. You know what I mean? As far as work and regular life, but like especially at work. So like I've been trying to, just stay on top of things because it's kind of like this. The analogy that I have is that it's like one of those ball areas with like plastic balls, and then like picture is like this air chamber that comes on, and all the balls are hovering in the air, right? So I'm keeping them all in the air. I'm boop boop all day long. I'm like, yeah, these are just not touching the ground. Then like maybe late at night when nobody's messing with the balls, it just shuts off all the balls on the ground, and then in the morning they all go the switches flip and they all go back in the air, and then I gotta run in there and keep them up in the air. But
Wow.
I will say that overall my week has been great, confirmational, and I just realized every day how blessed I am. So that's a good thing. Even though things don't go the way I think they're gonna go, that shit always works out. And so I need to really work more on resting in the everything always works out part.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in talking about what you just said at the end of what your week was about, pushing through, you said there's a lot of content that you have that you're trying to get to the screen. Now tell us all, why hasn't it gotten to the screen?
Okay, because so here, I'm glad you started us off with an analogy because I actually have an analogy. It dawned on me this week. So I've been doing a lot of studying on like, not even studying, it's just stuff that it took me down a rabbit hole that I found out that I was interested in, which is like brain science and how the brain works and what's really happening and how do you actually control your brain. A lot of times you could do it through like breathing and meditation and stuff like that. You could just get to a different part of yourself. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to say. What I'm here to say is I literally realized that there's times where I'm assuming that things are not going to work. And that's me being stuck in my past. It's me being stuck in old thinking, right? It's just like, why wouldn't it work, right? So I've been trying to tell, hey, goody, I've been really good this week about telling myself, like, that's not actually what's happening. Like, yeah, sure, maybe that's what happened before, but you actually don't know what's going to happen this time because this time you're having this thought, right? So
Oh my goodness.
I thought to myself, like, okay, social media, it can be strange sometimes because you look like, for instance, we get ready to talk about this on our next topic, but you can see all of these people getting judged. And it's kind of like, oh, do I really want to dip my toe in that? And you see all of these things happening to people, but you also have an idea to share. Like you have a purpose to be like, oh, I need to speak on this. Like when you feel that, like, you need to be putting out content. Now, I had to stop and think like, this is just a marketplace. It's like a farmer's market. and take Instagram, for instance, or any social media platform, it's just a farmer's market. And what I like to do that's most comfortable is I like to go there with my good reusable bag, sitting there,
I never remember my bags, bro.
and I just like to walk around and see what people have there. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, I come here every weekend. I need to come and set me up a booth. And that's my content. And so the problem that I'm realizing is that I'm comparing my content with other people's content. Like, oh, he's got some great apples over there. My apples better be that good. And it's like, they're not looking for his apples. If they want his apples, they could go to his apples and then they could come get whatever I'm serving up. So I think it's and it became that simple and flat to me when I realized it like that. Cause I was like, all you're doing is presenting your idea. You're presenting your work. And it's like, here, I made this, you know what I'm saying? One of the books that I read, Seth Godin, was basically, it's called The Practice. It's just basically like, yeah, when you're doing something, when you're creating something, whether you're a writer or whatever, it's just like, you're just offering up what you made. Here, I made this, like, check it out. Maybe you like it. You know what I'm saying? And I realized that's all it is a farmer's market. And my thinking needs to be more of the idea that, like, I'm coming to present my goods, right, to the marketplace. And somebody's going to like them. People are walking around looking for goods.
Let's stop there because you have a good point, right? Because I always struggle with that, because especially in the beginning, I was like, okay, well, I need to have this right. I need to have that right. And then once I started doing it, right, I had my own little idea of perfection, but you're right. You don't really know, you know what I'm saying? You're judging, you're comparing yourself off of stuff that your people are not even going to compare you off of. And then I ran into Kamisha and Dina and Goody and all that whole crew. And that kind of made me more confident to just turn on the camera. You know what I mean? Now, I still don't be jumping on people's lives, which I don't hit nobody's links. That's something I'm working on too, because I just be like, I'm good in the chat. But as far as content, you do just have to realize that you're judging yourself too hard. You know what I mean? People like authenticity, and there are going to be some people that don't like you, and that's okay, because everybody's not going to be happy. But your people that like your sauce, like how Jane, the plainest Jane, has her particular brand of syrup, right? People go there for her. You know what I mean?
Look at all these people in the marketplace.
That is how it is, though. That is how it is. And some people's stuff look good and some people's stuff look bad. But at the end of the day, if you focus on what it is that you have to bring, because there's people who have channels where they don't have content per se, like they're not uploading videos, they're just going live and talking to the people who come to hear them talk. It doesn't matter what they're talking about. I mean, they could be talking about stuff that's going on YouTube. They could be cussing somebody out. They could be, it's another lady I follow. Another person that inspired me to do more videos is her name. She has 2 channels, but the one that I know for sure is The Bird Lady Speaks. She is such a wonderful woman, but I found her, I don't even know how I found her, but she has a bird that she talks about. And the bird talks sometimes, but then she had like gastric bypass surgery and she vlogged about that. I still follow her. Confessions of a Reality Queen. Anyway, I'm just about to start listening to people now, but my point is, we do have to get over the judgmental stage where we're judging ourselves, because you're putting out what you came to offer. You can't be the judge of the people receiving it. They have to, they like what they like. You know what I mean? And if you aren't being your true self, what are they coming to look at? You know what I mean? So even if it's a video where you've gone to Staples, as you do on a regular basis, right? And you have a bunch of stuff, you could cut on your camera and do a live haul. Like, look what I got from Staples. It could be a 10-minute video, but the people who watch your channel and like that stuff will be like, oh, she did a live, I gotta watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of like really like substantial content that I have, and I talk myself out of posting it because I'm like, nobody's gonna be into this.
I don't think you're an asshat. You know what I'm saying? You see Goody's comment.
Yes, that's so funny. Yeah, so I have to really, and that's why I put that overlay up. I was laughing because I'm like, look at all these people who just are out. Look at this guy in the t-shirt. He's not there for any one thing. These people are just walking around like, oh, what's out here?
That is exactly how it is. That is
I'm looking to
exactly
buy
how it is.
something. And then I mean, I'm putting this up there. I know I'm driving this home, but it's just like there's so many things you could offer. And maybe people wouldn't even be out to looking out for buying it until they saw it. And then they're
Listen,
like,
somebody
you know
might be
what?
out there selling light
I
switch
might
plate
kind of
covers.
like these. I never liked grapes before, but those look really good. Let me see what these are about. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
just like that's why I'm looking at it.
somebody might be out there selling light switch plate covers. You never know. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
Lord. As we all
My
are.
point is, it's something for everybody. You know what I mean? And so
Look at
I
my
feel
life.
like
It's so plain.
I I feel like it's a constant struggle, but it's something that you have to go through as you grow as a content creator. You once you get past that stage and you realize, you know, even when you feel like you need to put out something that's perfect to you, somebody's still not gonna like it. You still didn't do
Yeah.
this, you still didn't do that. So you have to just be like, this is my video. This is what I wanted to talk about. Like for my reviews, I don't do a play by play of the shows. I just talk about what stood out to me and see. I like to spark conversation. You know what I mean? So that's my whole thing or whatever. But, you know, you have to, not judge yourself.
Yeah. It's true. And I mean, like, I have a different perspective on things, and that's what it's there for, to just put out there and just, not to judge anybody, but certainly not judge myself. And it's so funny because the advice you give other people that you don't follow is the exact thing that's wrong with you. And I'm saying that to myself because I used to tell Earl all the time, like when he was performing and stuff, I was like, you can't be on the stage and in the audience at the same time, right? Like you have to just be in the moment and create, and then let the people appreciate your talent. You know what I'm saying? And your hard work. You can't be like looking at the same time as you're performing.
You
Just
have to
like the way
just
it
be
works.
in your creativity. So you
Yes.
just like an artist, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I'll just close out. Well, not even close out, but I'll just end my portion of this to say that I struggle with that as well. And I am to get over it, I just do it. But I'll say this real quick. I was talking to this we'll just say I was talking to this person. You probably figure out who this person is as I go along, but I was talking to this person. They wanted to start a YouTube channel. I told the person all that I knew and had learned about it and what I was trying to implement or whatever. At the same time, like you said, realizing that the advice you give is the advice you're not taking. And that is part of my problem too. But I'm talking to this person. I'm telling them all of, oh, you could do this, you could do that, you could just da da da. And I'm giving them examples of how some people just turn on the camera and start talking shit. Not that I wanted that person to do it, but I was showing that person that if this person can have, just a channel functioning with what they're doing, they're just talking their own shit. They get up in the morning, they get their coffee, and they get a blunt, and this is old lady. She just talks shit. Not talk shit like cussing people out, but she just talks about
She's
stuff.
just doing her thing.
But she has people that come back and watch her. So I was telling this person, all of that stuff. And they were like, well, I just have to have it, I'm a perfectionist and this, that, and the other, or whatever. And I was just like, you're just scared. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. It's a fear. It's a fear of somebody not liking what you're putting out. Right. Yeah. And that person now has moved on to cryptocurrency. And so I have not really responded to that person at this point because I'm like, you didn't even do the YouTube channel, so I don't know what you want from me on that, but but that person is a perfectionist, but they never do anything. They talk about a lot of stuff and they have a lot of information, but they never do any of the stuff they talk about. So I just took that after I was like, you know what, I'm gonna learn from this person because this person is, the reason I guess I can count this person as to one of the people that is responsible for me being here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
But I have to take the lesson that, I don't want to end up having a whole bunch of ideas that I never acted on. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that kind of boils down to kind of leading into the next topic, but it's like what people think, right? And like that being such a big thing when it shouldn't be. It's almost so crazy and funny to me because when you look something directly in the eye, it really kind of like disappears or it takes on the energy that you decided you'd have. And as I'm thinking about it, it's like when you think about what people think about you, and that's a major sort of like consideration when you're choosing what to do or say or how to be. Like that is so crippling. And like, why is that a good decision? And it's not a good decision at all, but it's something that happens so much because it's like, oh, well, what is so-and-so going to say? Or not even a specific person, but like, how will I look? How will I look doing this? Right. And like, how will it be taken? And it's like, dude, I'm not getting ready to live my life like that.
No, and then I noticed, like I said, once I started doing stuff, you know what I'm saying? I realized that all the planning that I did and everything like that, it was good, but I didn't really get the solid, substantial ideas that I needed to keep moving forward until I actually got on the road. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I don't know. It's scary. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes to be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, because it's a lot of judgmental people out there. People are all. I mean, that's kind of how we are now. Even with the celebrities, like they come out and return. What is she wearing? Why is her hair like that? Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Right? And so it's like, you just have to, I mean, as a content creator, you do have to have thick skin because, people are judgmental, you know what I'm saying? But if the reason why you're doing it and, your passion, you have a passion for it, then, I mean, those things, that'll be a few things out of many that won't even matter. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
I'm just saying, we should all, you, me, and the person I was talking about, we need to all get over our fear and just do the thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely. Anyway. I definitely sustained. I love that. I loved it. One of the things that it can. Oh, procrastination is like the epitome of avoiding. It's avoiding. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I'm not going to do this right now. Like delaying something. I've definitely been going through a bunch of that stuff.
Absolutely. I can definitely relate to
that. Segues perfectly into this next thing I want to talk about, which is...
Would you see this real quick? Are y'all watching Harlem?
No, I'm not watching that. Are you watching?
I haven't seen it. Goody, should we watch it? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I haven't seen any of that, but yeah, I'm down. I'm open to it. Okay, so
is that the one with Megan Good in it, or who's in it?
Anyway. I don't know. I feel like I saw the trailer for it. I thought that was the I was watching Friday randomly. So last week I was like looking for feel good movies. Apparently, I don't know. Yeah, this is a series. Grace Byers, Feeling Good. Yep. Okay. So yeah, I need to watch that because those are some of my favorite people. Okay, I need to get into it. So okay, here's the thing. I think the expectations that people are having of these celebrities is pretty ridiculous. It's like nothing can ever please people. They're waiting for people to just make mistakes so that they can judge them. It's like, what are you doing in your life? These people who are judging people on the internet are so wild. Like, okay, so I have to talk about, first of all, Rihanna. Okay.
Before you say it, let me just do this really quick. Before you say it, let me just do this real quick. Let's show this. Because yeah, let's show this real quick. All right, I'm gonna let y'all see what I be saving.
I don't know if you could tag. No, you want to see me.
I hope it's not getting stuck.
It's stuck.
Oh, I don't know how to stop that. Okay. Is it playing now? Basically, this is what they were saying.
Rocket with it on the brown. Tryna get like this, I can't be around you. I'm too little to come down and all of this. Cause I can into things that I'm going through. Wow.
Oh my God, it did it at the wrong time too.
When I was shooting, wow.
Oh my gosh, I did not see that, but I need to go back and look
at it. So it won't play right. So we're not gonna worry about that, guys.
Well, I'm gonna definitely go back to
I thought the shit was funny if the internet would work with me.
But no, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's not just her either, but it's like people expect celebrities and brands to be like, vegan and earth giving and
perfect.
Perfect and like, oh, you need to be giving back, you need to be making money, and the thing about Rihanna is this. I really enjoyed her performance. Okay, I didn't expect her to have a pregnancy announcement. That was pretty cool. But then that even should. So I thought it was with those. They were up on those things. I was nervous for them, and they were dancing on hard. All those dancers. I was like, I don't know if I'll do that, but
they probably practice like shit too.
It was entertaining to me. I thought she brought the swag. I was really impressed with like how calm she looked. She didn't look like she was nervous at all.
Hey, Erica.
And I thought her voice sounded really good.
I'm sorry. I think I'm talking over you. Let me.
No, it's okay.
Hi, Erica.
Hey, Erica. I thought her voice sounded really good. I thought she was dope, but I didn't expect her to come out there dancing like Michael Jackson either. So then it's just like, okay, what do you people want? And then this whole thing comes up with her album. It's like, this means we're not getting the album. It's just like, y'all aren't even buying music. This is my thing about
she don't even need to put out an album. She just
first of all, it would be
not getting an album, guys.
Let me just say this: as busy as I am with my little HR job or whatever, and trying to create content, I don't have time to do things that don't make money. She literally has $1 billion business. Why would you be pushing another button? I'm pushing the money button. Like when I spend my time on making makeup, it makes me billions of dollars. When I spend my time on making music, it doesn't make me that much. And this is where I'm getting right here, because people on average these days, like nobody's really going platinum like that anymore, right? People are streaming their music, they're pirating their music. It's no way she would make even a fraction of the money that she could make doing what she's spending her time on as if she put up an album. Why would she spend 2, 3, 4 months creating an album to go gold when y'all aren't even buying music? There's millions of people out here have been talking about where's Rihanna's album for the last like 6 years, and it's like you're not even buying music, people. Like the masses, the community is not purchasing albums. Why are you requesting this? And there's albums that she has
like so I think that she should do a single here or there, because she does have some fire tracks or whatever. But at the same time, I don't think that we're gonna get an album unless the kid's name is album. I just don't. But look, Erica says as long as she keeps doing foundation, I'm good.
Hello, on this lip gloss. Oh, I'm happy on this lip gloss. Like I'll be having to have this lip gloss now. She even was out there with her little compact on the stage. I was like, wow, she just made a few $1 million right there. It's genius. I would have if I
okay. To point out that this is something that's been in my head, how we all want to start these clothing brands and stuff like that. Like we should be wearing our own brands and using our own brands. Yeah, you're gonna use her your friends' brands and stuff like that. But like if you're a person that has a brand, wear your brand, because that was a perfect opportunity. I'm about to be on TV with all these people. Yes, ma'am.
Yep. And anybody who's like, who's that? What is she doing now? She's using her makeup. She has a makeup line. Like that was the perfect thing. There's so many people who didn't know about that or didn't know perhaps even who she is or whatever. There's people who watch the Super Bowl who have no idea what's happening in the world. But I'm just saying that like that was a perfect opportunity to use. Well, I feel like everybody probably knows who Rihanna is. Let me take that back. But it was a perfect opportunity to push her brand, and she did. And that's just one example, because there's another thing, and this is related. This is kind of related, but not really, about Chris Brown. I know Chris Brown made a post while she was performing, which was basically like, it said something like, oh, go girl, or something like that, with like a heart or something like that. And people started talking about that. Half of the people, and they might be the same people. It's the same people who are probably saying, why didn't they let Chris Brown perform on this, award show or whatever, are the same people who are mad every time that something happens or his name is in something, and they're like, can we get somebody who's not a woman beater? It's like, okay, that was so long ago, guys. And I'm not saying that, he should be let off the hook because whatever, but it's like, that was so long ago. And it makes me feel like once you do something, you can never.
Well, see, that's this cancel culture. You get one chance for a first impression. A lot of people, they lack the I guess, it's when you look at somebody do something and you're like, oh my God, I would never do that, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't say never, because you're not that person. You don't have that brain, but you can't hold that person to that one thing, right? But
Right.
then when you get down to talking about what those things are or whatever, does it depend on how heavy it is? Like, a lot of people can separate R. Kelly from his music, but a lot of people can't. He got a whole fan club out here that still thinks he's innocent. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I was gonna say, I guess it depends on what your level of morality is, and then you just go like that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. But like, for Chris Brown, I mean, that is something that's going to follow him for a long time or whatever. But that's, again, people are separating him from his music in most cases or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's the same reason why you're not posting your content and I'm not posting on my content, because you don't want to be judged, right? But that one thing that somebody's going to be like, oh, she did this.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe she thinks this way. She said that.
Even when anybody turns on the camera, people are looking. There's detectives on YouTube to see what's in the background, what's going on, they have a whatever on the table, and that means this or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like the whole state of judgment, But Goody Gabor says Robin was earlier up here. She said Robin with exclamation points. And she said Robin can't dance, but she says Robin was touring until she almost fell apart earlier in her career. Her little sister was her background singer, Goody's little sister.
Yeah, that's cool.
She probably got stories. Goody probably got stories about that. And then exactly, Erica says Chris Brown was also a stalker, so he does have issues. He's a bit crackish.
Crackish.
And then the other thing is that I've noticed, at being a content creator and watching other content creators, right? Just because, it depends on where you come in the story too, right? When do you learn about it? Because some people will go back and do research, but some people won't. So, I think that, like, what I try to do is I have my thoughts about whatever it is, but I love to hear people's opinions about it, because a lot of times you'll learn stuff that you didn't even, know. So yeah, I don't know. Cause I'm not going to sit here and say that it's certain people that I just can't rock with. You know what I mean? But it just has to do with, I guess, how I perceive them and how I don't want anybody to perceive me like that. Yeah,
that's true.
I don't know. Cause I don't know. It's a touchy situation. It's certain people that I just would never be seen with.
And so that's another thing, because I feel like you having a stance on something, and I'm not even talking about this. It's like, like a stance on abortion, or a stance on, LGBT, or a stance on, anything. Any issue that's political, like, the vaccine was a taboo issue, right? Like, everything that's happening, it's like you have to be so careful. So it's sometimes like your opinion can get you in trouble. It's not even
that's what happens when people run for offices. They go back and look through all them old tweets and things you post on the internet, which is why sometimes I look at people with stuff they post and I'm like, you really want, so you're having an argument with your husband right now and you really want the internet to have a record of this for years to come.
Yeah.
Like, and it goes beyond that. So it's like a lot of people don't think about what they post, but then sometimes especially when you get like on YouTube and get in some of these chats or whatever, you have the internet provides some people anonymity. So they feel like they are invincible or they can't be touched. So they can say whatever they want. You know what I mean? And so people just get carried away. But I think people do that in real life, and they don't think this is going to catch up with them or whatever, So
yeah.
That's the world we live in right now. Cause
I mean, listen, and I was trying to be careful, but I can't keep this up, guys. Like, at some point, I'm liable to say something that I really, truly feel and get corrected or whatever, and that's fine. But like, even if I don't get corrected, it's like, okay, this is how.
Okay, this comment right here is. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, what?
This comment right here hits me right where I needed to be. Right. True, have an opinion, but no judgment. No one's perfect. We're all works in progress. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
Wholeheartedly.
the thing is, we're all human, and we are going to have human moments. Like, you know, I'm sure all of us have moments where, you know, you've flipped your lid, or it's probably people that know me that remember when I flipped my lid before, you know what I'm saying? Or you just had moments where you're not so proud of the moment. But what we were talking about earlier, you know, that's in the past. Like, you're not there anymore. That happened. If you can, you know, own up to it and move on with it, and just realize that nobody's perfect, you know, you'll be fine. So when you're looking at other people and they're having human moments, yes, have an opinion, but don't, you know, for instance, if somebody is in a domestic violence thing, right, you can have all your opinions about, oh, she should have did this, she should have did that, but like, nobody really knows how that person was feeling in the situation. So you have to kind of, you know, let that person have their human moment. But it's like, it's hard to, it's easy to have the opinion and make a judgment, but it's harder to have the opinion, give the humanitarian pardon, like, you know, I've realized that person is human, you know, and not even relate to them, but just realize that they're human, and not hold that to the end. You know, it just depends. You ain't got to be friends, but you just, you know, whatever it is. But I like this comment because that's exactly what I was trying to say after all the rambling that I did. But
no, that's perfect. That's definitely like appreciated. That comment.
I mean, because think about it, even in when dealing with yourself, you know what I'm saying? You have to realize that because we judge ourselves the hardest, you know what I'm saying? So have your opinion about yourself, but don't hold it up. Like, do that the same way, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times we do that and then we sit there and then we're acting out, just like you were saying earlier about, like, you know, these things aren't happening. Like, this isn't exactly what people are thinking. This is what I think they're thinking.
Yeah.
There's no way you could know because you're not them. So you just have to be your authentic self, and then being your authentic self, you realize that you're not perfect, nobody else is. You know, you can have your opinion on a situation. It's just it's even a way to deliver your opinion without coming off as judgmental, you know what I mean? And a lot of people just kind of, especially on YouTube, like when something happens, a person does one little thing that, and the thing is, you don't even know all of the situation, but they just have a judgment, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's all about giving people a chance. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know where I'm going with that, but that's how I was feeling.
No, that was good. Like, I was just with you because I agree. Like, I agree. That is how we should think. But I just feel like so many people, this is gonna sound so wrong. So many people are just like sheep. And then what happens is one person says something like really, like, not even necessarily nasty, but just kind of like driven towards like, and then everybody else comes and says, yeah, she's right, you know, and now everybody's piling on someone, like, like, you know, I think I talked about this last week, but when Beyonce went to, I did, maybe it was a week before, when Beyonce went and performed in Dubai, and it's like, you can't fault somebody for taking a check like that when nobody's gonna get hurt. Like, you can't, it's not like she went and performed at a KKK rally. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, man, she went to go get a bag, and you would do the same thing had you been offered that money. So it's like, you know, you can't hold somebody accountable for the morals that you're not even going to follow yourself. But it's just like, everybody can't be so, well, they can, but it just seems like people are so driven towards, you know, they need to apologize or
judging what they should do with money that's not even theirs. You know what I'm saying? They're people at the end of the day. So, but real quick about the Dubai things, I was in King Roman News chat. He has a really good channel because he talks about like these news stories, like different news stories that a lot of people don't talk about. I think the first place that I saw, remember that story we talked about where the girl at, was it Kentucky? It was the girl that was like working in the dorm, and the other girl came in drunk.
Yes.
He talked about that first. But anyway, I was over in his chat and I was watching, and we were talking about, they were talking about Beyonce and the Beyonce concert. And somebody in the chat, I wish I could remember her name, because she had a great idea, because they were talking about the prices of the tickets that for the shows that are here in the US. And so the person was like, well, you could buy a ticket to London, England. I can't remember what place you said, but like, you could buy a ticket to those places, have an extra vacation, go see the show for probably 300. I think she said,
yeah, I saw that too.
Which would be almost the same price or whatever. So I was like, yo, I love that idea. Like, go out of the country because those venues are going to be cheaper, but then you get extra because you're actually in a location where you know, can have a good time as well. So anyway, shout out to her. I can't remember her name, so I don't even know if she would watch this video, but just in case.
No, I get that too. You create the memory of like having the experience of traveling. Like, hey, remember that time we went to Greece to go see, you know, Dave Chappelle or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh yeah, and we spent the same amount of money as we would have here, but that's not the case. Dave Chappelle tickets are pretty, you know, affordable.
Yo, remember how much concert tickets used to be back in the day?
Oh, they were nothing. It was like, I mean, we used to just buy concert tickets like, oh, let's see what's up. Oh, this person. Oh, these comedians. Oh,
the
this
prices now are
like go in there, you spend a couple hundred.
Like an old lady. Back in my day, you know.
Listen, at this point too, when I already want to be at home anyway, it's like it really has to be a scenario that I can't, you know, refuse.
And they have to have bomb parking. If they don't have
parking, I mean, if you think about, this is me being old, everyone. Hi, America. To the thought of like climbing out of my fuzzy socks and from underneath my fleece blanket that is perfectly centered in front of the wonderfully huge television screen. I mean, the thought of getting my body out from this situation and going on the outside where there's people with germs and attitudes and negativity. And then on top of that, you're going to make me spend like a couple, like, what? You're going to make me spend money that I could be saving to like do something with, or I could turn into something else. Like, it's just such a, you know, it's a stretch for me. When I could just look you up on YouTube or Google your thing, like, nah, I'm good.
No, that's funny.
I mean, listen, I do want to get back into like going out and having fun places, but certainly not with these high cost of ticket sales for sure. I just want
the tickets aren't the only thing though. I'm gonna say this before we get into the next topic, but you know, specifically grocery shopping. You know what I'm saying? I remember I used to use it like whenever Earl was growing up. I used to be like, you know, we eat out on certain parts of the week, right? But other than that, I'm cooking. So he used to like want to eat out sometimes, and I'd be like, by the time we go to get that, I could have bought all the ingredients from the grocery store. Well, now it's not the fucking same. Like, you could go to the grocery store and spend $40 and get the same little bit of shit you would get going to the fast food place for $40. So yeah, the money thing is everything is getting expensive, but I'd be damned if I paid thousands of dollars to go to a concert, because what did he say? King Roman said that he was like, is she coming to see each one of us personally? Right. Like, that was funny as shit to me. But anyway, so do you want to get into the main topic?
Yes. Wait, what is the main topic? Okay, I guess we're gonna skip these. Yep.
Ready to Love, because if
we go we've been over 30. I can't believe this.
Yeah, if we go on to the other topic.
You're right. Let's get into the main topic.
So you remember the episode, right?
Yes, it all came back to me.
Okay. So what stands out to you? What did you walk away from it with?
So, okay, I like the fact that what's his name came back. Dang, let me bring his names up because I don't like, gosh, here we go. I got it.
Goody said, not what is the main topic.
Okay, so I did like the fact that Andre came back. I thought that was cool because I really liked him and Cynthia as a couple. I mean, like, they haven't even like.
I felt like, yeah, they made a good connection.
Made that official, but I think that's a really good thing, and I thought he was cool. So I'm glad that
he was growing on me. It was the thing at first that deterred me, but he grew on me. But I didn't think he was coming back. But I was already saying they let Looney come back. Why they let him come back? I spoke too soon, so they brought.
Well, I don't think it was they were gonna let him. I don't think she had made an announcement that she's leaving.
That she was leaving. That's right. He announced. That's right. That's why Tommy did the whole. We're gonna call him at the house if you guys.
I thought it was so weird that he did that. It was so weird because what if people were like, And they might have been, I don't know, it could have been edited. Like, why he get to come back? He, he got through elimination because he wasn't here. Like,
you know what? I think that even
right there.
So all the men were excited, but I think that Tommy still had the last say. So I'm interested to see how that's going to go because, like you said, he had made a connection with Cynthia, and I give him kudos because not a lot of men know what to do when a woman is crying. Some of them just stand there looking stupid. Some of them, will engage or whatever. But he knew exactly how to make her feel, and so I was happy about that. That's when he started growing on me or whatever. And then Jeffrey said that she made a connection with Blue and Mark Anthony, and she made a connection with Andre, but I forgot what her. Oh, you know what? He was flirting with her at first because when Cynthia first came, they had a situation where he was sitting with Jeffrey and Cynthia came over, and then she just walked away. But so I guess those are her 3 connections. But what's so funny?
This guy just came in. It's all in the background.
What's up, production?
Yeah. Production team is here. Yeah, so Jeffrey,
hold up. Let me ask her a question real quick so she can put it in the chat while you're talking. Tony comes off to me as like one of them just like, fast talking up north dudes that just, he just be talking circles around people. I feel like he having that effect on the cast. Goody, let me know if I'm right. What kind of vibe you getting from him? She already said he loose though.
So he loose. He is.
No, but
you do be connecting all over the place. And so thank you very much, Gerson. I do think that Jeffrey is cool. And I like the way she kind of like stood her ground when Blake came back and tried. He lied, y'all. So I was irritated at that. He finally comes out and denies that he said whatever he did say. I know he said it. Look at this.
My discernment was on point because that's why I was thinking. He think he'll play.
Look at her. She was looking right in the camera too. Y'all see her?
Hey, Buttercup, what's going on? She's like, who are those people?
She's judging.
What are you over there doing?
See, she's the major canceller. If she were on the internet, oh Lord, I would never put out content because she's the rudest.
Honestly, you might want to just make her an Instagram channel or an Instagram page or whatever because she be doing a lot of stuff or whatever. I'm about to make King.
She does, and she's so unimpressed. She's so like, I don't even know the word, but yeah, she's unbothered or something. Like it's very. She's
listen. You guys are beneath her, okay?
I know. I'm just here to serve.
That's what she thinks.
So look, but Blake, he lied. There's no reason for her to make that up. That he said that. There was just no reason, and the way he handled it the first time, I think somewhere along the line he realized that he should have said, "Oh, I should have denied it." You know what I'm saying? And
I think that a lot of them don't know how to deal with multiple people. Number one,
yeah, especially.
If he would not have let it fester, then we wouldn't think that he lied.
True.
And he would have just handled it and nipped it in the bud, like, "Hey, that's a flat out lie." I say that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
But it's the dealing with multiple people that let him have it fester, and then he probably talked to Sue a lot. And then was able to come up with something. Now both of them just look crazy because now people are like, "Well, did he say it?" And then she's like, "He's, I don't know. I don't know if he said it or not, but because we already think he's a prick, I don't believe him. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like he should have nipped it in the bud. I'm different. Jeffrey seems like to me that she just wants to come and put her feet up and be a princess or whatever, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know who I see her ending up with. I don't know. I
don't know either. And right now, it might be too early because I just can't see her.
We halfway through though.
Really clicking with anybody. Like I know she has a connection with Blue, and does she have a connection with Mark Anthony? In my mind,
with Mark Anthony.
In my mind, Mark Anthony and Mercedes go together. And that's just where it is.
You can see their chemistry jumping.
They go together, and that's how I feel about that. So,
however, Mercedes had a little connection with Anthony as well. She was vulnerable with him. She was open with him, and he, seemed like he was feeling her too. Now I don't know.
About Tony?
No, Anthony.
Oh, Anthony,
the guy with the gear. You talking about Tony?
Oh yeah, she did have a connection with him. Okay, so this is me being rude.
Hold on. She said, okay, so she said Tony would hate her ass. He thinks that He thinks that he's a player. Everybody got potential. And she said, y'all know Advocate Sue was working on the Shanquilla case. No, I didn't know that.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh, that makes me feel, you know, a way about her.
Sue.
That's pretty cool.
Exactly.
I mean,
not like Blake and Susu. They need each other to stay in the game. They do need each other to stay in the game, but I see that they like each other, like that they, you know, but then I'm just like, really?
Wait, who?
I don't know.
Blake and Sue
Ann, yeah.
I think, okay, no hate, no shade, and both of them are attractive, but I think Sue Ann is being somewhat manipulated because I don't see Blake. He just doesn't seem into anybody.
Maybe that's what I'm seeing, because when I say I don't see the connection, I see that Sue likes him, right?
Yeah.
He seems more comfortable with her than he does with everybody else, but I guess I don't know if it's because I don't believe Blake. I don't know.
It could be that, but I also feel like the connection's just not there. And like only they know what they're feeling for each other. So like, but from where I sit, you know, I can see too. And I don't think that it's really chemistry. I think he's going along like pressing all of the buttons, checking all of the boxes because he's on the show. But I don't think he's really feeling it. And you know what? I'm going to go with my instinct on this. Yes, that's right. That's right. I'm going to go with my instinct on this because this is exactly how I felt about Frank. Okay. And I was like,
okay.
Cool, but let's see. Then he picked Moomin, and I was thinking to myself, like, wow, that's so odd. Maybe they really are connecting. And then lo and behold, I was correct. So I just feel like like one of those forced situations where you think it looks good. Because
they do make a cute couple. They do look good together.
Yeah, but again, I don't think that if she's being honest with herself, and if she really feels like they have a connection, that's one thing. But I think that Blake is not going to be able to connect with anybody. He's there to date himself.
So I will have to agree with you there. I think that right now Sue is. I feel like
So I mean,
I'm real, but he might not be, and because of that, she is being manipulated because she thinks there's some connection. When I don't know, guys. I don't know, and we're halfway through the season, so we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
But okay, so Goody says she was the family advocate. Simone had her on Girl Is That Legal. You know, Simone is the
yeah.
But they just got engaged. I have to go and watch that. I didn't see that. That's tight. That's what's up. Okay, Sue.
That's cool. That's very cool. I mean, it's not cool what happened to Shanquilla. It's not
cool, because she was. I'm sorry, Faith. I keep. Sue is male centered. Yeah, because she was up there just that kind of irritated me when she went to not went to Jeffrey, but when they had the conversation about that, because I'm like, you now are fighting for him, like not for him, like to be with you, but like you've put him behind you, and you're like, talking to her, and that's something that
you might not have all the information.
You might not have all the information because at the end of the day, y'all don't know each other, So yeah, I was like,
and he doesn't seem authentic to me. I think it's interesting, like to be on the outside, and it's not like I know all these people or whatever, but like I could see, you know what I'm saying? So I think I would be weird not to follow my instincts. Anthony is a nurse practitioner. He's a nice man, but I don't see him there for long, only because I keep forgetting about him. And I'm not saying that that's the case for everybody, but it just seems like if I keep forgetting about him, that means he's not in all the scenes. And so
yeah, I kept forgetting about him too, but I did catch the fact that him and Mercedes made a connection. But then at the end of the last show, his name was mentioned a lot, and the ladies were just like, he's not pursuing, he's just, so he might be one of the ones to go.
Like if you think about, and I know everything doesn't make like the cutting room floor, like there could have been lots of dates that
that we just didn't see.
But that's also telling, because why wouldn't they be playing the dates of the people who make it so that we can learn like the things that happen leading up to that?
Who knows the rhyme or reason behind editing and cutting, because sometimes there's important things that we need to see that actually were filmed, but they just don't show it. and then the cast will come out and say, well, this did happen, or this, I said this or whatever, which how they were shady in setting up the whole "Do You Like Me" title. That happened with Anthony and Mercedes. She was open with him and told him that she liked him and all of that. And then they go to her conversation with Lyndon almost immediately. And he asks her, "Do you like me?" And she's just like, there was hesitation. But I was like, why would they highlight that like that? Like he's about to get friend zoned, which really just means that I don't want to have sex with you. And y'all are going to just put it on Front Street like this. Like, come on. But Erica says she thinks Blake and Susu are using each other. She's not totally convinced that she's that into him.
Ooh, okay. There's a really good perspective.
Tommy was clear that the church chat should stay at the bar. That's the church chat should stay at the bar. That's a sentence to say, right?
I didn't even see him say that. What was he talking about when he said the church chat? Oh, maybe he was talking about, their conversation, because they got into this weird
church chat should stay at the bar is funny to me.
They got into this weird conversation, but I do appreciate the awkward positions that they have to go through in this show, because you had mentioned this earlier, but the whole thing is really just strange. If you think about, you're dating all these people at the same time, you all know each other. You're having group dates together. You know what I'm saying?
They're all talking.
They're all talking, they be having like group chats and all that stuff going. And then to think that, all of this is being filmed, right? It's just so many elements that are strange. And so I only say that to say, I love this awkward position they got put in when they're like, we're going to do the elimination conversation right in front of everyone. Because you think about when you get in those two rooms and then the women can talk amongst the women about the men and vice versa. The men can say what they need to say about the women. It's like, all right, that's one scenario, because you're kind of getting open in that, right? You're kind of getting not even necessarily vulnerable, but it seems more of a safe space, because now you're having to say what he did with them at that, I guess it was like a restaurant or whatever. You're having to say who you are not connecting with. Like, that's pretty awkward. That's pretty awkward to do in a group setting also. It's like I don't really like him.
More freely when it's men and women, they speak more freely. And some of that stuff does get out, but at that point it's hearsay. But to be like, okay, we about to do this in front of everybody, I was like, oh my goodness. So I can't wait to see the next episode, because
me either. And as I was just saying, we were talking earlier about how I hate it when they do this whole cliffhanger thing, because it's like, give me what I came here for. He said they shouldn't take the conversations externally. Oh, got it. That was the church thing. Okay, got it.
Oh, listen, Erica, ever since I started watching this show, I always be like, what ex would I bring on here? Because I definitely would be thinking, does this person need to be on TV? Do they deserve to be on TV? Because that's the first question I need to ask. Because if you're going to get on TV through me, we got to be cool. Then I'm like, okay, who would not embarrass me, right? Who would actually act right on camera and not get on camera and be like, well, I'm about to just air her out.
Oh my gosh.
Or I'd be thinking, okay, I do have a few exes that would just be down with the whole thing. They would question the dude, whatever, comment or whatever. But that goes back to question number one. Do you deserve to be on TV? So
yeah,
I don't know. Because the guys, you notice the girls, some of the girls probably pick safe places too, but the guys just usually go way back or whatever. It's like, they're not really, a lot of them are not really pick people that would actually. I think Randall had a good one last season, because she was asking all the right questions.
Oh yeah, she was cool. There have been a few in the past that I felt like, and then there was the one guy who brought us. He was like they were on a date. What was his name? He's from the.
You're talking about.
Oh my god,
LJ. LJ, yes, I
was. LJ's
did y'all not have a conversation before she came here?
No, they obviously it was like they were sucking back drinks before the women got there. It's like, are y'all on a date? Like, what is this? It was so odd. It was so
your co-parent seems like they have sense though, Goody. So that would probably be good for you. But some of these people they be bringing on, I'm like, why would you even do that to yourself? And some of it's not believable either. It's like, that's not your ex. But you know, it's all entertainment. So
there is something else I wanted to say about DeMario. DeMario had that reaction. Yeah, LJ did bring his booty call. For sure. Like they were leaving after that. Also, okay, sorry. Now that we're on this.
Listen, she said she was in love with the man. So
when Frank,
that's so sad though. That's so sad.
Let me go back a few seasons for Frank in DC.
I did not believe that
Frank had a woman on there, and I just remember thinking like, oh, he's leaving, he's going home with her after this. Like I remember thinking to myself,
he was spotted with her after that.
I believed that. Like when I looked at them, I was like, "Oh, they're totally like still doing it."
And your discernment is on point because
I'm telling you,
somebody. I think it might have been Alicia that said that. Lee with the T that said she saw them out somewhere, and he was with that girl. So
I can see this thing, and it's got to be like my years of like I feel like I was part of a social experiment or something, but like. Years of just like serving people and you're kind of like in the background when you're like a waiter or a bartender, especially a bartender. Mm-hmm. Like nobody's looking at you really unless you have your regulars and they come to see you and all that, or just to be in the space. But mostly everybody else doesn't pay any attention to the people who are serving them, and they frequent a place and like we see exactly who they are. Like we just are learning people's personalities, and it's like I can gauge what people are thinking. I'm confident in that. I can gauge what people are thinking based off of my decades in the service industry of studying what people want, right? Like that's exactly what I was doing. Like, okay, what does that mean? Oh, okay, he's getting fidgety. This is the time for this. It's just like, so I feel like that has something to do in them meeting thousands of people. It's just like some people can just be boxed right on in. You know how people say like, don't put me in a box. No, you belong there. There's some people who think so, by the like that you did exactly what I expected you to do. Yep. Okay. Here's your coat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you just right on time. Like, I know exactly who you are. So I think that has something to do with it. Okay. But on to Demario. Listen, I think Demario's cool. But he said something to Jeffrey. I don't think him and Jeffrey have a future, right? Because I think he said that. Was it Jeffrey who did the kiss?
Okay, so he was mad about, that seems to be a really big thing on RTL. He was mad about the kiss that she kissed Mark Anthony, but she told him, you didn't come and talk to me. So I don't know what you want me to do. But he said that he can't talk to her because one, he hasn't seen her without makeup. Two, I forgot what else. After that, I was just cracking up because I was just like, bruh. That is a real thing though, because
it is.
It is a real thing, but
it is a real thing. But I thought it was
about these kisses because I don't know you like that, and if you're not talking to me, like he tried to tell her, oh well, what would you tell your kids if you were kissing two guys? And he was like, well, what would my kid think if a guy said he liked me but he didn't come talk to me? You know what I'm saying? She was basically like, get the fuck out of here.
Go ahead.
But I'm going to throw it back to you because I don't like Demario because this is the only reason. He was cool at first. I liked him at first, but this is the reason why, not that I don't like him, but I think that he needed to go, is because he was trying to use the willy-nilly Hail Mary, what is it, the one more chance pass.
In the beginning.
I was like, no, it's too early, bro. What are you doing? No.
You have no strategic like process. Like you just
like jump up and down like this. And he was just like, no, we gotta use. I felt like I was watching him throw a tantrum, and I was just
he was emotional for sure. And I do think, for sure, he showed himself a little bit in that because it was like, if you really believe in that, if you believe, if you really believe in her that much, which there's no reason you should. She wasn't coming to see you. Then you should leave with her because that's your one and only true love. But you were so willing to throw that towel in. That has to be saved and used for like when people are like confused together. That's why it's an all or nothing thing where it has to be.
Yeah, because why would they waste it? That's crazy. But it's crazy when they do use it. It's going to be crazy when they do use it, though, because that, like you said, is going to be multiple people feeling this person and don't want them to go, which is, why would they need a second chance if everybody was feeling them? So it kind of is like weird, but he was just ready to just throw it all out there. Then his ass got sent home.
I also feel like with Demario having a problem with the kiss, it's like, I guess that could be, something that could be a turnoff in the moment, but you gotta also realize that you're on a reality dating show. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is kind of, I don't know that that's it could have been avoided. I guess she could have just like been like, no, I'm not kissing anyone. But it's also like a part of the experience where you just don't know what's going to happen until you're in the situation.
I mean, think about it in real life, right? Like in real life, you wouldn't know who I kissed or if I kissed or whatever. The fact that they can see these things is what throws that extra wrench in the game. But you can't expect the person not to be them because, if that's her, that's her. You know what I mean? But I feel like some of those things need to come out so that they can, repel each other if they need to. Like for instance, the group date that they had with Mark Anthony, Jeffrey, Jonique, and Tony.
Yeah, that was good.
That whole situation was funny to me because Mark Anthony was really trying to be, get into a conversation with everybody, right? And even when Jonique was talking and she was laying down what she wanted and how she thought and stuff like that, Tony was eating that shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Eating that shit up to the point where like this was his face after she finished talking. You can see half of his teeth. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So,
yes.
But Mark Anthony tried to ask her a question about like he wanted further clarification, or he said something to move the conversation along. Or to me, it came off as let me ask a question so I won't seem like I'm not engaging or that I'm not. But you could tell that she was telling Tony everything he needed to hear, and Mark Anthony was just like, yeah, it's nothing right there or whatever. She was thinking the same thing or whatever. But that's why you need to be yourself so that you could do that. Like it's cool, no hard feelings. Like we just, nothing there. But the Mario man, I don't know. He's not the only one though, because Mike was doing it last season. Like there's a couple of them that felt like that, but that brings into you're dating multiple people and you just have the ability to see who they're dating right now and some of their interactions, but you wouldn't know any of this if it was outside. You wouldn't know that.
Exactly. And that's why I feel like I was glad to see, because you had to refresh my memory. Jonique and Tony did have a little bit of a connection there, and that was kind of one of the first times I didn't see Tony. I didn't feel like the other times where I saw him be attracted to somebody that he lit up that much. Mm-hmm. Like I felt like he was really excited when Jonique started talking, which says a little bit more about him than what I had. He was
like, listen, the man said he's looking for a wife. I was shocked to hear him put it down like that. And like I said, I just feel like he just got a lot of game. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But I have been wrong many times before, and I'll come.
No, I think he does, and it's kind of like you could kind of see who he is, but also,
he better not pick Jonique if he's playing games, because she also seems like the type of person that he's going to regret doing that if that's what he's doing.
That's the thing. I think that maybe she's matched to him, right? I think that's maybe what excited him. They're like, oh, I can't get one over on her.
What's he going to do about Morgan? Because Morgan already is,
I feel like Morgan might have already gave up the draws, yo. It's so hard to tell, like, how long people have known each other and what they're doing and stuff like that. Like, who cares? Like, I don't really need to know if they've been intimate, but by the way that they were hugging and stuff, like, come on, man.
See,
like,
those are the things that throw the wrench in the game, because, okay, you have the game, you have these 20 people or however many people that are supposed to be doing stuff in the process. But then you have to think about the rest of the days and weeks or whatever, however it goes. Like if they're together doing stuff, filming, who's to say that they aren't doing stuff outside, which they're not supposed to. But like, if you live in the same city as somebody, you just have to decide whether you're willing to go out, because you're still going to go out. You're still going to be doing what you regularly do. So what if you do see that person outside, right? I guess it's to each his own, but I don't know. I just know she has in her mind that she's feeling him. And there was one scene where they were talking and she was it kind of seemed like she was asking him to, she was just let him know that she was feeling him. And she was just like, I need to know that it's the same or whatever. But
you talking about Morgan with Tony.
And right there, I was just like, oh, like it seemed lopsided at that point, right?
Yeah.
It seemed like he is feeling her, but he made a couple of comments about how he wished that she was not so one time he was like, he wished he wasn't so insecure about something. And I guess he was talking about that specific situation, but I was just like, why would he say that? But if he's seeing that, then, I don't know. But
yeah,
it's a dangerous game. I have to give them kudos because, it's hard to date anyway. And to do it with cameras following you. And, at some point, I think you have to decide, if you don't find, like, if you do find anything, you're gonna stay there to find out if it's real. But then you have to have in the back of your mind that, what am I gonna do if it doesn't go the way that I want it to go? Like you could have a situation where we like Blake and Sue, they need each other to stay on the show because nobody's really checking for
right.
Like that. So in that case, it's like, it kind of switches. It's like, yeah, maybe I was here looking for love, or maybe I wasn't, but then I found that I could do this, and then maybe they might, but I don't know. That's what throws all the wrenches in the game. Like, we're looking at it as viewers, like, initially, I want to see some people fall in love, but then there's a lot of plays being ran in the midst of it. So it's like, you don't really know what you're looking at sometimes. So I don't know, but we're halfway through the season. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. But
I don't know either.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know either. I gotta see what happens, but I mean, as a viewer, I'm thinking that I definitely want to see what's up with Andre and Cynthia. I feel like Blue and Jeffrey might have something there. I think the people that are probably, in my opinion, just because maybe I just haven't like connected with them or seen them connect with other people. But Anthony, it seems like he's about to go. Blake. I think Blake and Blake and Sue-Ann are gonna keep each other on there just because they're a part of the storyline, because they are so like whatever, but they're not interesting to me. Mark Anthony and Mercedes are like the homecoming king and queen. They go together, and then let's see what happened with Jonique and Tony. I'm trying to see if that goes, but so with that said, that means Lyndon, Marcia, Morgan. Mm-hmm. And Demario and Anthony are just, I don't know. Let's see what happens.
So, okay, I think that, I don't know. I'm confused now because I did like the interaction between Anthony and Mercedes.
I don't know. I got to go back and look at it because I just didn't really take that seriously.
So, so what the situation was is she asked him what he wanted to talk about, and he was like, whatever you want to tell me. And so she was like, I like you. And she could have said more, but this is the way they said it. She said, I like you, and she explained she found him intimidating because of the things that he's done. And probably take her a while to get there, whatever. But I think that that's kind of real. You know what I'm saying? Because she's comparing herself, which she shouldn't do, right? She should just see if he likes her and go like that. But so I think that they got a little connection. Obviously, Mark Anthony and Mercedes got a connection as well. So she got two right there. Cynthia and Andre, yes. But then Andre has a connection with Jeffrey as well.
Oh, he does?
So he had a connection with Jeffrey.
Yeah, he does.
But like Blake and Sue-Ann, they probably are gonna stick around. I think the people who are gonna be on the chopping block is Anthony and Marcia. I think because it's one girl and one guy that has to go. So
yeah, we're gonna see, because Lyndon, I forgot. Lyndon has a connection with Morgan, doesn't he? Who does Lyndon have a connection with?
I can't remember who he had a connection with, because he was like, we know that Mercedes told him though they're just friends, but it was somebody that he did talk to that said that he said
like it was Morgan.
I can't remember. Maybe it was Morgan, because he said he feels a certain way when he talks to her. That just slipped my mind. So the main, I forgot about Lyndon. I forgot about Lyndon. So
we just got to keep on watching, because this is the point in the show where shit gets real. Like people start to, you can only, and this is my theory too, you can only be a representative for so long. And I mean, I'm pretty sure you could probably be a representative through this whole entire taping, but less and less of your representative starts to show up, and you have to start peeling back layers. So we get ready to.
And it's all about how they edited too, because Samson went the whole season, and we thought he was one way, and he really had some extra stuff in there. But But shout out to Samson though.
Shout out to Samson, but he messed it up for a whole group of you put shame on the light skinned name. Like the light skinned dude. Like now you're another reason why people should beware of the light skinned dude.
Oh my gosh.
I know that's racist and all, but I'm on my way to being canceled. I'm gonna get out all my thoughts and ideas before I get canceled.
You are so stupid. That's funny. But yeah, so I mean, I can't wait to see the next episode. But you're right, drama starts ensuing right around this episode. So because feelings are starting to get caught and little things are happening. So if Blake does stay, like how's that gonna go with Jeffrey still being there when they do group things? Because Jeffrey thinks that Sue-Ann is in her business or whatever, and it kind of does seem crazy that Sue-Ann keeps like, I don't know. I would just think that you're there to date the men, so like, why are you really getting into the relationship with somebody else? Because at the end of the day, y'all all don't know each other.
So, all right, if I had to guess and make up a rumor, then this is what it sounds like. I think that Blake is kind of petty. And I think that, some of the conversations between Blake and Sue-Ann are probably about Jeffrey. And I would think that there would be some incentive or just natural just desire to like make Jeffrey sound a little silly or uncredited, like discredited. I think there would be, benefit in that. Just for the natural thing of like
I didn't think about that.
Being who he is and knowing for sure that him and Sue-Ann have talked about it. So it's just a little, we're gonna see how that works. But you bring up a really good point because I can't see them like squashing it and being like, okay, we're just gonna date our other people and we're gonna see each other every so often when we all get together. That's weird. I don't know. I don't think they're. I also just don't believe in Blake and Sue-Ann. So. I don't know. We got to see what happens. It's about to get good.
I think so too. But like I said, I don't know. Maybe that's just me being judgmental about Blake. Of whatever, I got to go back and see what the exact career was that they said he did. But whatever it is that he does, I remember saying I work with those people.
He's a corporate security officer.
But he must have worked in Homeland Security or something similar like that, like something similar to like a Pentagon police officer. Right?
Okay,
that's kind of how I took it. I can't remember what it was, but a lot of them are hoes. A lot of them are pretentious like that. You know what I'm saying? And the way that he comes off, like the man just looks uncomfortable to me. He just looks uncomfortable.
Yes, doesn't he?
But I don't know. I wouldn't really, I don't know. This is just me and my experience from my life. I don't give a fuck about the other woman that you're talking to. Not like that. Not like I date people that date other women, but I'm thinking to myself, if a man came to me talking about another woman, I'd be like, why are you talking to me about her? Especially in a situation where we're all dating the same people. I wouldn't want to really talk about her because what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? And I know sometimes it comes to the situation where they want to discuss who's your number one or whatever, but if he was starting to talk about her and say things like, that made her look in a bad light, I would have to look at it and be like, is this coming from a biased place because he feels a certain way about something he said to her or something that happened with them? I just couldn't take it as law. I would have to just ignore that. We would just have to be like, let's not talk about that. But the fact that she, is listening to what he's saying and she believes him, that does leave her open to be manipulated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And even if she's, it is possible, because you brought this up, it's possible that she's doing the manipulating. You know what I'm saying? She's fucking Kaiser Sose. But at the same time, I get what you're saying about Blake. He looks really freaking uncomfortable in his mom's shirt with his boobs out. Now, let me stop. It's all love. It's all love. But he looks super uncomfortable. Like, I don't know. Maybe all of these people look uncomfortable, but to me, it just looks like he doesn't know what to do with his hands, and and
maybe it's the cameras, because nobody's used to having all these cameras around. But disclaimer,
but nobody looks like this though, right? Like everybody else is like, say
I do want to say this though.
Look at everybody's picture. Hold up, let's just look at this. And look at Lyndon, he's cool dude, whatever. Marcia, she got her pose. Mercedes got her pose. Morgan, women know how to pose for cameras. Suan looked like an author. Tony, he kind of looks
like an author. That's funny.
I feel like he has a picture like that when he was like 4 years old in church. Anyway, everybody else has their little like stance, but everybody's pretty much smiling. Jonique is giving face, so that's why she is got that model look. Everybody else is like smiling. You see these smiles, Marcia, she's doing her thing. And then you get up here and this guy just looks confused. What's he doing?
I want to say this. We talk a lot of shit on this show, Thursday Night Live with those two sisters. None of it is personal. We don't know these people. And if they happen to catch the show, please don't take offense. Take it with a grain of salt. We're all judging each other. You know what I mean? So
it's all fun and games.
It's all fun and games for us. Nothing malicious. But
if I get the chance to talk to Blake, I will ask him like, where this photo get taken? Like,
I'm sorry, I wouldn't even want to ask him that. No, I'm just playing. Just jokes, guys. This is just our opinion based off of what we see on TV. Now, I know that a lot of stuff was cut out, and we'll get to hear about that when they start doing their interviews and making their rounds or whatever. I haven't. This is the first season that I haven't really been paying to what's been going on in social media because of, work or whatever. I gotta get back over to Kamisha Reviews channel because I know she got all the tea. Okay, if y'all not following Kamisha Reviews, she definitely does a panel. I think now it's on Friday night, and then Love and Marriage DC, I think, is on Saturday night. But there's a whole bunch of other stuff over there. I gotta go catch up because I usually know what's going on behind the scenes, like, or what is being talked about. Now that the show stopped airing, sometimes certain things and conversations come out or whatever. But I have just been honestly watching the show without any social media interruption. So my view is based on what I'm picking up. When they're on here, and he just seems uncomfortable. He seems like, he just seems like an officer that's gonna come over and be like, you can't stand right here. And you're like, oh, well, the door is right here. No, you have to stand across the street. He just seems like one of those that way.
But you know what? That's a great thing that you brought up because we don't know how this is being. This is my reaction. I'm a viewer. I'm a viewer, and this is what I'm seeing, and this is my, road to cancellation or whatever you want to call it. I gotta call it like I see it, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But
hey, I'm not above being wrong either. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, that was a great show. I really want to get into the meat and potatoes of like what the season's about. I think we're really about to start seeing people, have interactions. I know there's this one part that they keep teasing where I think it's Tony gets mad at Lyndon or something.
Oh, he talks about kissing Morgan.
So I want to get to that part and see what's up there. But I think we just have a lot to see. And then I also want to talk about the other show at some point. That's going to be a really good conversation. Hey, King. What's going on, guy? You see
I'm trying to put his little paw up.
Look at your cousin back there. Buttercup.
Buttercup. Look at Buttercup.
She doesn't care.
He like, really? We doing this again? Anyway, really quick though. If you guys aren't following us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram. I also put in Faith's channel in the description because she's about to upload the content that she has been working on.
Yes, I sure am, guys. I sure
definitely check her out over there. Come back and check us out every Thursday night. We talk about Ready to Love. We will also talk about Love and Marriage DC and whatever else is going on in our lives or the world or whatever's interesting to us. So if you're not already subscribed, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. That's helpful.
See, dudes don't be thinking about this though, right? How the other women gonna feel when Tony doing that? Like they are not used to dating multiple people. Like no same person would blurt out something like that.
Yeah, I mean that's what I want to see too.
He probably watched it back like, oh my God. But see, they know they know everything that happened. We're only getting, the parts that we're getting, but he could have got cussed out for that.
He could have, but it was so emotional. That's why I want to see everything.
But it was also an asshole move, though. Like,
I want to see everything that led up to it because it could have been something else. But we got to see what happens. I don't know.
Okay. Also, check out Relationship Entertainment Television. It's Black History Month, and there's so many different things going on over there. Interviews with let's take it back. Interviews with entrepreneurs. Your girl got a show over there where I highlight the positive stuff going on in our community, and I highlight this entrepreneur every week. This month for Black History Month, I'm highlighting youth entrepreneurs. So I don't know if y'all remember that little guy named Mo. His name was Mosiah, I believe. Mo's Bows. He was on Steve Harvey. He was on Oprah. He was on back like years ago, whatever. But he still has his bow ties.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're highlighting youth entrepreneurs all month. And I also try to pick out some people who are not heavily talked about in Black history. Like everybody talks about, the same people all the time. So I try to pick out people who are presently making history now.
I know that's right.
So definitely check out Relationship Entertainment Television. And that's all I have to say. I don't know.
That's all I have to say too. Until next week, guys. It's getting good. So make sure you tune back in next week.
Yes. So we will see y'all in the next